So, in the diversity of living world, the next chapter is plant kingdom. Plant kingdom is also called as metaphyta or kingdom plantae. So, this plant kingdom includes different types of organisms which may be either microscopic and majority of them are macroscopic in their nature. So, here in this plant kingdom it includes algae, fungi, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms and angiosperms. When we talk about this algae, the algae includes brown algae and red algae also. So, when we consider this classification, so initially the algae or unicellular organisms were kept under, particularly the prokaryotic unicellular organisms are kept under Monera. And the protista includes unicellular eukaryotic organisms. Some may have cell wall, some may lack the cell wall. And next one is the fungi, which includes the all heterotrophic organisms which lack chlorophyll in them. But here unicellular prokaryotes which contain cell wall. In the same way, the unicellular eukaryotic cell wall having protistans and all the fungi. So, all of them have been now kept in plant kingdom, which have been clubbed along with the bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms and angiosperms. Likewise, now the positions of different groups of organisms have been changed based on some of the criteria that have been considered by the scientists. So, likewise some changes have been taken place in the positions of living plants, where characterization have also been some significance in changing the positions. In this one, the plant kingdom includes generally some of them are microscopic and also macroscopic organisms, which are generally eukaryotic in their nature, and they have lot of diversity in the habitat in which they are surviving. That is, some of them may be aquatic, some of them may be terrestrial also. So, likewise this includes various types of living organisms, and in this one we can't say that all plants are phototrophic in their nature. That is, but of course at the same time we can say that majority of them are photoautotrophic. But at the same time some of them are parasites like cuscuta, and some of them are saprophytes. Rarely we can see this type of nature like monotropa. So, some exceptional cases are there, and some of them are partial parasites also, like in the bladderwort and Venus flytrap like examples. Likewise, here also we can see some diversity in the characteristic features related to the plants which have been kept under plant kingdom. Here, when they are photosynthetic in their nature, the major pigment which is present in them is the chlorophyll A, and some of them will have chlorophyll B also. But apart from these two main pigments, some of the organisms like algae, particularly algae group of plants, will contain chlorophyll C, chlorophyll D and chlorophyll E also. So, these are the chlorophyll molecules which are exclusively present in algal group of organisms. But apart from that one, the plants also contain carotenoids. And apart from these carotenoids, the algal members have some other type of pigments are there, those are called as phycobilins, which includes phycoerythrin and physocyanin. So these are the pigments which are responsible for the photosynthetic process. Apart from that one, if you see the structure of the cell, so here cell will have the cell wall. This cell wall is mostly cellulosic in its nature. That means it contains cellulose, hemicellulose, pectin, and these are the basic type of cell components which are present in the primary cell wall of higher plants, but some of them will have chitin, mannans, or apart from this one, some will have algins, etc. So like different types of alginic compounds are also being present. So there is a diversity in the composition of cell wall material, but all the plant cells will have minimum of primary cell wall. And inside the primary cell wall, the plasma membrane is present. This plasma membrane is a living membrane and it is lipoproteinaceous. Inside this one, the protoplasm is present. The protoplasm contains the fluid material, that is the cytoplasm, along with the nucleus and other type of cell organelles also. Then vacuole, presence of vacuole. Generally, the vacuoles may be distributed in different manner. There may be many small vacuoles distributed throughout the cytoplasm, or sometimes when the cell become grown or mature, all the small vacuoles will fuse to form a large central vacuole. So likewise, the organization will be present, and connections are present between one cell to the adjacent cells. So that is the cell wall will have perforations. So these perforations will form into plasmodesmata. That is intercellular connections along with the cytoplasmic strands is called as a plasmodesmata. This is present only in the higher plants, but it is not present in the lower plants like in algae. And apart from this one, their organization, they may be unicellular, and some of them are motile and unicellular like chlamydomonas. And some of them are unicellular and non-motile also. Then some will exist in the colonial form like volvox, and others are multicellular. When they are multicellular, they show either filamentous form or the flat organization can also be seen. Likewise, lot of diversity is there in the cell structure of the plants which are being kept under plant kingdom. The plants will exhibit indefinite growth. Unlike the animals, the plants will grow throughout their life, and in higher plants like in angiosperms, the growth is carried out by meristems, which are mostly present in the apical parts of the plants. So apart from this one, the other characteristic features is the cells will undergo cell division and going on adding the new cells, and the meristematic cells are having the active dividing property. Then the food metals are stored in the form of starch, but there are some organisms which will store the food metals in the form of glycogen like in fungi, and particularly in the higher plants, the food metals which are stored in the starch, those are called as amyloplasts, and some will store fats also, these are called as elaioplasts. And as we know that plants are the producers in the food chain, and always the food chain in a plant ecology will start with the producers only, that is with the plants only, and they account for the absorption of solar energy or utilization of the solar energy by absorbing the radiation from the sun and converting that solar energy into the chemical energy form. This chemical energy form is called as adenosine triphosphate, that is ATP molecules. So likewise, if you observe the reproduction, they participate in vegetative reproduction, asexual reproduction and sexual method of reproduction. Maybe that the methods of vegetative, asexual and sexual are of different types, but the basic types are very much been there. They are in the form of vegetative, asexual and the sexual methods. Here different scientists had kept plants in different groups, or they have been categorized plants in a different manner, starting with the Linnaeus. Linnaeus had given the two kingdom classification, in which Vegetalia and the Animalia, or Plantae and Animalia are present. The Plantae includes both the flowering and the non-flowering plants. So in which the phanerogamic one, the flowering group of plants, so which includes 23 classes, whereas the Cryptogame, that is non-flowering, includes only one class. A total of 24 classes and 87 orders are being placed under the Vegetabulae or the Plantae in Linnaeus system of classification. Then Eichler had classified the plants into two groups. One is the flowering plants and the non-flowering plants. Those are called as Cryptogame and Phanerogame. The Cryptogame includes the non-flowering plants, whereas the Phanerogame includes flowering plants. Cryptogame, under Cryptogame, further it is divided into Thallophyta, Bryophyta and Pteridophyta. Whereas here the Phanerogame contains only one subdivision, that is Spermatophyta. This subdivision contains two classes. One is called as Dicotyledonnae and Monocotyledonnae. So likewise, all the plants have been kept here. Apart from that one, we know that algae are present, some of the bacteria are present. So likewise, blue-green algae or the cyanobacteria, they have been kept under Thallophyta group of individuals. Then next, coming to the Whittaker. So who had given the 5 kingdom classification. So according to this 5 kingdom classification, we know that Monera, which includes unicellular prokaryotic organisms, some may contain cell wall and some may not contain cell wall. The other one is a Protista, which includes unicellular eukaryotic organisms with or without cell wall. Then all organisms which are heterotrophic and having chitin cell wall are kept under fungi. And Plantae. Plantae is a group of individuals which contains multicellular, eukaryotic and photosynthetic organisms. And of course, Animalia is present. Animalia, which includes heterotrophic, multicellular and eukaryotic animals which show holozoic type of nutrition. So here, according to the Whittaker, in the 5 kingdom classification, some of the plants are present in Monera, which are unicellular, microscopic. Protista also contains some plants, fungi and plants. So these 4 groups contains plants. So likewise, different scientists had placed plants in different groups based on the criteria that have been followed by that particular specific scientist.